Web3 TV.
Hello and welcome to Web3 TV. I'm Lisa Amnegard, and today we're at the Token 2049 here in Dubai. Joining me right now is Anish Mohammed, co-founder and CTO of Panther Protocol. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And is this your first time at a Token 2049 event?
No, first time in Dubai, but Token 2049 in Singapore, I think I've been a couple of times.
And how are you finding it so far?
It's a different experience compared to Singapore. So the crowd is different, and I would say the size of the crowd is also slightly different.
There's so many people here. I think there's almost 14,000 attendees over the next 2 days. But I'm really interested to know a little bit more about Panther Protocol, what you guys are doing, and what makes it unique.
So Panther Protocol provides privacy for DeFi along with KYC. So it's like when you go to a bank, you have to prove that you are who you are. They call it the KYC, and then you can do your transactions. In a public blockchain, every transaction you do is visible to everybody. Say, for example, if I give you some Ethereum or whatever it is, right? Everybody in the whole world would know my address is my address and your address is your address, and I gave you some money, right? Whereas what Panther would allow you to do is like, especially when you use protocols to swap and things like that, like Uniswap, to do the transaction privately and still have your KYC. And in countries where you have to pay taxes for crypto, like in the US or in the UK, whereas IRS and HMRC, you have this selective disclosure mechanism. So you could produce a transcript that proves to the tax authority that, you know, these transactions were all started by you, and then pay taxes for that. That's what we do.
And how important is this when it comes to DeFi to have privacy and secure methods to complete transactions?
So it depends on who you are and where you stand in the whole spectrum of things. So if you look at what has happened in the past few years, if you've been aware of Tornado Cash, so there's a sanction that was there that's been brought down now. But typically speaking, if you do transactions on chain, the risk of you getting sanctioned is high. So Panther definitely gives you assurance against that. And if you're doing, say, certain transactions on DEX, right? Imagine you're providing liquidity. You really don't want the world to know you are the liquidity provider. You're doing everything legal, but you don't want to, right? When Arbitrum had an airdrop, there was somebody who actually gave liquidity on Uniswap. They made like 2 million. Everybody was after them because it is very visible. If you were to use Panther Protocol, you could actually do all these things legally. If you want to pay tax, as I said to you, you could do the tax as well. So that's what we do. It's different for different people. Some people really care about privacy. Some people really care about KYC and compliance. So, you know, we provide all of those things.
No, exactly. And now there's more institutional adoption when it comes to DeFi and crypto. So where do you see this space headed now in 2025?
Honestly, I don't have a crystal ball, and I have been in this business for like 13 years now. So every time we think we are close enough to institutional adoption, something will happen, right? So if you go back in time, say around 2015, 2016, there were like a bunch of big banks and other things. Coda is one of those initiatives that came out, and you thought, you know, wow, this is all going to change. And suddenly things didn't happen. There is adoption. There is more institutional support in the US. For example, full disclosure, I was an advisor to Ripple. So, you know, I'm aware of Ripple. I get all the updates from Brad. So Ripple got a whole bunch of things opened up, even a stable currency in the US, which is very different in that sense until now, right? Like, so there's a lot of trends that are happening. If you look at Ethereum, Ethereum has always had new things happening. So there's more progress. Even there is this proposal by Vitalik about, you know, whatever enterprise versions can happen and things of that sort. Again, full disclosure, as one of the idiots from the Ethereum Swarm team. So I am biased. I am seeing some good trends, but you never know. One decision by a decision maker, a key decision maker could change it. And in the US, if you look at all the people who are in power right now, when I say in power, it's like SEC and other people, they are far more pro-crypto than, you know, a few months ago. Let's put it that way.
No, I guess you just have to try to navigate the situation as best as you can to the best of your.
You know, when the president actually has a token in his name and he's willing to have a dinner with you if you're the largest holder, it pretty much indicates to you there's a chance that, you know, crypto might have a mainstream adoption. That's what I hope.
Exactly. And I know you're really busy today, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. But is there anything that you would like to add, or how can people find Panther Protocol and learn more about it?
So it's pretty easy to find Panther Protocol. It's panther.org or pantherprotocol.io. You can find us on Twitter and all the normal places. And most of the documentation is open. The whole protocol is open sourced. Please come find us, and we are happy to talk to everybody.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me as well.
And we'll be bringing more interviews. My name is Lisa Amnegard, and you're watching Web3 TV.